This session is going to be about growth from the perspective of retention. Growth is more than recruiting new members. Unless we retain members, we are spinning our wheels and we do not grow. It takes a membership committed to build a recruiting plan, and with recruiting success, an equally important plan is to retain those new members in service. The first step is to conserve and capitalize on the energy expended by welcoming, inducting, involving, and nurturing every new member. Retaining is as important as recruiting. Without both, growth is just outside our grasp. Before this session ends, we will not only make the case for retention, we will emphasize some tools and techniques to enhance retention. This session on retention is part 2 of the growth equation. In this session, we will encourage each of you to look at your club, your membership as a whole, and how your club can employ some key elements in the retention process. Part 1, which emphasizes recruitment, is also available. It addresses the aspects of recruiting based on club strengths, marketing your club, and helping members realize how everyone has a role and a responsibility in the recruiting process. Communication specialists, mission specialists, and a highly experienced group of training and support specialists have committed their time, their experience, and their education and dedication to Sertoma's future. It is our hope that every member uses this training to commit their talents to retain the members with whom we have chosen to share our service mission. Much of the information shared during this training is rooted in some resources at your fingertips and only a few clicks away. These 2 documents, available at sertoma.org in the Member Center under Club Resources, should be used during your retention and recruiting efforts. They are well written and recently updated in June of 2019. In general, there's no path solution to retention. There's no step 1, step 2, step 3 approach. Why is that? It's because every club is as unique as its membership and the community it serves. Retention, like recruitment, is local in its nature and appeal. The real key to retention lies in leaders knowing the right work to be done in the community, and then enlisting every member, and especially those new members with new ideas and energy, to do the work right. Therefore, as you experience this training, keep your mind open. Look for points that seem to speak to your impressions of your club's membership, your mission, the needs of your community, and how you work to meet those needs. Along the way, try to not only apply your experience and impressions, but also try to view your club's current and planned or future actions through the eyes of a newly recruited member. Wait just a moment. Retention is not only a concept for the newly recruited member, it is equally important that existing members buy into work and commit to work alongside new Sertomans. At the end, we will recap some things to help you do just that. Remember, as an objective, try to identify at least 4 actions you can do to enhance retention in your club. First, let's be right out and in the open. Here are the easy questions we can use to frame the concept of retention. What is retention? If we're talking about retaining water, we might think of holding water in a pond, a lake, or even building a dam. Think of the body of water as a resource. It represents potential energy. It can be considered life-giving and life-sustaining. In terms of members, they are a resource. They are a resource for good. They are energy. We have invested in them, And like all energy forms, conservation and using them wisely makes us healthier and we will live longer. When does retention begin? Is this question as old as dirt among Sertomans and has sparked spirited discussions among Sertomans over the years. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but for purposes of argument, retention of Sertoma members begins the first time they hear the word Sertoma, and sometimes may hear, what is Sertoma? Retention might also begin when a member sees a publicity item about Sertoma, or perhaps a member shares a story about their membership in a service organization that has been fulfilling when they saw a child here for the first time, when they saw a grandparent who saw their grandchild appear in the school or church play. Maybe you even know of a story to share about a person able to hold their job because they were provided a hearing aid by a Sertoma program. Does Sertoma have a retention problem or a recruiting problem? Can also stimulate an emotional discussion, and in our case, a reason for this training. If we don't have a problem, we are offering this because we certainly have room for improvement. The next few slides, we will look at this question a little deeper. The upcoming series of slides are designed to give us some details relating to recruiting and retention in recent years. First, there appears a couple sets of numbers. These numbers represent new members recruited, and on the bottom, members lost. Note the relative consistency of new members recruited and total members lost. Have we demonstrated our ability to recruit? Well, yes. 686 and 674 are rather consistent. Have we also had a consistent member loss? Yes, frighteningly so. The center line doesn't do much for us, but shows how the loss was computed. Now I must add the remaining 2018-19 numbers. Does the drop from 674 to 575 indicate we are not recruiting as effectively? Intuitively speaking, if we are recruiting fewer but still lost that consistent amount, our retention has suffered even greater than in previous years. Does Sertoma have a recruiting problem? Yes. Does Sertoma have a retention problem? Yes. We are doing this training as part of and in support of Vision 2020. We aim to turn the numbers in our favor. So let's move on to finding some ways to fix the problem. Now is the time to face the tough questions and look at some Vision 2020 help. That help is available when your club is contacted by a communications specialist whose job it is to see how Sertoma can help your club. Unless your club does not fit the profile of a club losing more than you are gaining, we have trainers who can help you. Most have faced the same problems as each of you. Most have helped their own clubs turn things around. In the remaining time, we're going to try to give you some ideas to use in your club. Remember that objective. At least 4 things you can employ to retain members. Before even identifying what we should do, we must understand the current situation in our club and be open to improving that situation if we have a retention problem. Open is a very important attitude to have as we go forward. Open to new ideas and open to accepting the situation of our club now. Opening doors that are already in our club or can be used in our club to retain members. And making sure we are doing everything possible to have open doors and a welcoming and positive environment to encourage prospects to enter our club and stay. Let's take a few minutes and try to identify our clubs. For purpose of illustration, Here are clubs with an alphanumeric just to clarify different recruiting and retention levels of success. Are we an A club? Just cruising along constantly, not gaining or losing members. Same members, same meetings, same fundraisers, same sponsorships, same. I am so bored. I keep coming to meetings because these are my friends. Sure, we get a new member, but then someone moves, resigns, or dies. I don't know why I stay. Are we a B club who just seems to bleed members? No new members, but always losing a few. We not only don't have a retention plan, we don't have a recruiting plan. We are as stale as forgotten leftovers in the refrigerator. And even the occasional guest can catch the scent. C and D clubs have been recruiting members into the club, but both are losing members. They are grouped together for illustration. We want to look at the successes and potential they both show. Fortunately, a C club is recruiting more than they are losing, and a D club is holding their own. Recruiting is taking place, and as for retention, gains equal or exceed losses. They are simply churning members in and out. These clubs, under effective leadership and training elements available through Vision 2020, can break out and achieve higher levels of service, recognition, and the growth that comes with success. Individuals we introduce to Sertoma see success and want to be a part of success. Both of these clubs are on the threshold of greater success. Leadership must ask, why are we losing these members we recruit? Do we not involve them? Do we not have sponsorships, fundraisers, services that engage them? Answering these questions hold the key to our future success, as they do in almost every Sertoma club. An E club should probably be indicated by a small e rather than a large E. An E club has lost energy completely. It may have even turned its back on Sertoma. It may fail to pay dues, does not file reports to Sertoma or even the IRS. Sadly, an E club may not even be receptive to Vision 2020. On a more optimistic note, we do have a lot of A clubs in Sertoma. They're doing a lot of things right, but appear to have no desire to change, to add members, to increase fundraising or sponsorships. They are not motivated to change. They are on a dying course and will fail unless they have a leader or two with more energy and commitment to embrace Vision 2020. If you sense that you're part of an A club and want to turn things around, you can. It starts with an honest and frank exchange with your communications specialist. If you feel you're an A club, at the end of this training session, contact Sertoma headquarters with your club name and your desire to receive Vision 2020 assistance if you have not been contacted by a communications specialist already. There's even a list of clubs and their assigned communications specialists online at sertoma.org. You are a perfect candidate to benefit from the Vision 2020 concept. Your club can rise again. Are you a B club? Sadly losing members over time. Some members just age out and some either move away or lose interest. Many B clubs were once thriving and even built a stash of cash or even formed their own fundraiser or foundation in some cases. In B clubs, we often find some past leaders who were great leaders above club level and would like to see the club revived again. A B club with their money in the bank and that cache of pride and past leaders who know the club potential to rise again can benefit by reaching out to their communications specialist. A B club has the potential closer at hand than they may realize, using resources of Vision 2020. If you are a C or D club, you have got lots going for you. We ask you to identify other clubs in your area who can benefit from your success. Invite struggling club leaders to attend your regular meetings and even your board meetings. Struggling clubs can learn from you. When you have the chance to talk with the communications specialist assigned to your club, take some time to share what you feel works for you. It is likely you are already doing many of the positive concepts Vision 2020 has to offer. The communications specialist has the experience to capture some of your good ideas to pass along to other clubs. You can get the help you need through honest discussion with the communications specialist and the training and support specialist. You have the tools and can even be stronger under Vision 2020. Adopt some techniques that focus on retention to avoid churning members in and out. Look at these clubs briefly again. Every club type, even E clubs, can strengthen their retention impact by taking some hints and techniques from the following slides. We have considered the easy questions. We may have even given you some general insight to the way your club is now operating. Now is the time to really get down to look for some answers to the tough questions. Perhaps it would be better stated that it is time to look at how we can open some possibilities for you to consider. For a club to advance under Vision 2020, they must be open to ideas and see how those ideas can be accepted and employed. A second concept using the open idea is to look at how leaders and members can open doors within the club that will enhance retention. Try to create a culture and an environment with some new ideas or variations on currently successful programs. Finally, retention is even related to making sure your club has open doors. Remember, when does retention begin? It may begin when you open your doors for the first time, or opening by way of another invitation, by publicity or some other type of way. But most importantly, when you have a prospective member enter your doors for a meeting, do they see a club active in service and energized by the meeting environment? Is it an experience they want to share again and again? Many clubs know they want to embrace the changes of Vision 2020, but need encouragement to take those initial steps. If you have already participated in the recruiting lesson plan that accompanies this training, this may sound like a broken record. However, before a club can move forward and cultivate ideas and concepts that enhance retention, the leaders and membership must realistically look at themselves by way of a club assessment. Using the club assessment sheet available online at Sertoma.org is a good place to start. A club might even choose to use the Sertoma provided copy as an example and develop their own assessment sheet. Many of our clubs have a rich history. Does your club do orientations? Not just for a new member, but as a refresher for long-timers who might be re-energized and be retained by being reminded of past successes. In all cases, a successful retention effort and plan to enhance retention must have leadership support. More complicated, but an element often overlooked in a retention strategy, might be the current structure and general operations of the club. While the assessment should reveal elements to consider changing, if your club no longer has functioning committees and leaders who are only going through the motions, structure may need adjustment. A club that has successfully opened their doors to new ideas and as expressed in the previous slide, or taken a look at themselves and have an attitude among the membership that is open to change, can make retention a real part of their ongoing success. Within our clubs, we can all take actions that will enhance retention. The member bringing a guest to a meeting should take the extra effort to learn a few biofacts about the guest, making the guest feel important during the introduction, and sharing those biofacts offer other members conversation starters when greeting the guest. Does your club also make new member inductions an important occasion? Even doing the simple action of asking all members to stand as the new member packet is presented, the new member is pinned, adds a degree of formality. At Sertoma.org, Sertoma has several examples of inductions the president or vice president can use. These examples show the importance and value of the new member. Orientations are important for new members and a great opportunity to remind existing members of the many opportunities to serve and be an active part of the club. Does your club emphasize the importance of the GEM and Mentor Awards? Encouraging the GEM and Mentor Award and to make a plan to accomplish their requirements is integral to involving a new member from the start. Did you know the GEM and Mentor time period to complete has recently been extended to 2 years? Does your club add items to the new member packet from Sertoma, such as a club roster, club bylaws, a list of committees, the GEM form, and more? All the bullets on this slide are ways to make sure your club has open doors that welcome and involve newly recruited members and enhance retention. Perhaps nothing is more important than early involvement of the new member, and acknowledging service and other contributions to club success with awards reinforces service and belonging. The last point of emphasis relating to being open as a club is to make sure your club has an open and welcoming character that creates an open door feeling. Is your meeting location appealing not only to new member prospects, but to your existing members as well? The importance of a good first impression cannot be overemphasized. If existing members are not comfortable themselves, why should you expect them to invite someone else? Are members proud of the location? Is it a pleasant environment with tables and seating conducive to fellowship? Do you have a sound system and are accommodations made for guests and members with hearing limitations? After all, if we are going to talk the talk as it relates to our hearing health mission, we better demonstrate that we walk the walk. Does your meeting have a way of showing the members in action, recognition of accomplishments and publicity? Members like to see themselves involved in events, and showing those members in action gains recognition and breeds pride in regular members, helping retention, and makes it easier for existing members to share your club's achievements. Does your leadership demonstrate an air of competence and control? Is the meeting run with professionalism? And do you start and end on time so your professional members can get to the office or to their next appointment? Perhaps our most difficult element of retention is to transition over time, adapting to a changing community environment. Are the club members representative of the community and your mission? We've covered a lot of ground and concepts that bear on retention. Hopefully you will find 4 or more new things for you to employ in your club and meet the objective of this training, and more importantly, reverse the trend as part of Vision 2020 to recruit, grow, and retain more members in service to mankind. This slide will remain up for a few seconds longer to give you a chance to jot down some ideas in support. Thank you for participating in this Vision 2020 training.